Hello there.
Well, hello, the troopers, and welcome back to General Economics Bunker. Thank you so much for joining me here on this fine Monday. That's right, special night, Monday night, here on another episode of The High Ground. We are up to episode 94. Kind of crazy, kind of getting there, right? Kind of getting there. But we are also kind of getting towards the end of the year, which makes it a little bit more difficult to sort of line these up. So, we decided to go ahead and have a stream tonight because there's quite a few things that we would like to talk about, and we felt that probably today was about the only day we coincided in time. But speaking of time, our partner in crime here apparently has been spending their time way too wisely. Yeah, so I see somebody that's kind of buried in plastic now. You okay back there, Mike?
Uh, I think I see you. I'm not 100% sure. There's been a
Hey,
slight adjustment here with the fall of plastics. Uh,
yikes.
but yeah. Let me get some of
Somebody's
this out of the
having
way.
somebody's having a great holiday season. Look at that.
It's definitely a great Christmas.
Yeah, look at that Neil. That's awesome.
uh,
So cool.
yeah, that guy. I'm surprised I found him in the wild. He
Yeah.
I saw him once at GameStop. I passed on it. Then we watched the show,
Yeah.
and since then I haven't been able to see him. But I got lucky on a restock at Walmart. Check your
Perfect.
Walmart.
And we have been getting quite the micro galaxy squadron goodness lately.
Some goodies there. Look at that.
Absolutely, yeah. Beautiful. Those when you hit up Ross Con?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know what's going on with Ross, but they're in tune with my nerdness.
Oh, I hear you. They're completely out of tune with my savings goals, but
Yes,
yeah, no,
100%.
they're right on the money. My money, unfortunately. But yeah, I agree that they've been killing it. It's been kind of insane. Nice T-shirt, by the way, too.
Oh yeah, got to rep them.
Yeah, absolutely. Why am I so dark? Don't say because that's how I was born. Don't even start. I meant the lighting.
Ah,
I'm
yes.
think I messed up something here.
Normally there's some light in the background that's missing there.
Hmm. What did I do? All right, we'll go with it. So yeah, thank you for joining us. So as I was saying, guys, we kind of decided to do this tonight, mainly because we kind of have things kicking off here, in the next few days. So tomorrow, I'm actually going to a early screening of Sonic 3. So I'm not entirely sure what time that wraps up. So I was like, I don't know if we'll get to do the show.
Yeah,
There's Skeleton Crew, which obviously I want to watch before any spoilers. So that's probably what I'll do as soon as I get out of the movie. Um, and so yeah, and then Wednesday is my anniversary, so that's kind of blocked off.
completely
If
tied up.
Yeah, exactly. If I want to keep any of this stuff that you see back here, and then Thursday, I know a lot of our friends do streams on Thursday and things like that. So we figured it's gonna be kind of more hectic for me. Starting off on Friday, I got family coming in, so that just kind of puts us into running around, etc. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And anyway, of course, the weekend's always a little bit chaotic, and then we start getting into next week, which is already Christmas territory, right? I mean, Monday is what, the 23rd already? Is that right? Dang,
I believe
I think
so.
so. Um, yeah, Monday's the 23rd. So that's already kind of like, people start traveling and stuff like that to be there on Christmas Eve with their family or wherever they're going to spend it. So, um, fun times, don't get me wrong, but it does make it a little bit more hectic, right? To get a stream going in order to, have everybody here. So, appreciate you joining. Thank you, everybody here in the chat. Thank you, Bunker Bunch, as usual, especially when we kind of switch it up, like a day like today. Definitely not our usual day, but you're out here in force and the chat is already on fire. So let me jump in real quick. We got the Dad Vader pulling double duty as always, saying hello there, Bunker Gang. Appreciate you. We got Ultra Car in the house saying, "What's up, everyone?" Dad Vader saying, "Hi, Ultra." We got Sexy Flexi saying, "Sup, Bunker Punch." What's going on, brother? Appreciate you joining, man. Yes. The Dad Vader nailed it here. Flex, the legendary master of making me spend money. Dude,
Jeez, God, man.
yeah, it's not fair. LMAO
Yeah.
says Flex as he, laughs himself to the bank. Dart Angel in the house saying, "This is the way." What's going on, brother? Appreciate you coming, man. Ultracar saying, from Red Soy, finally received Marvel Legends figure Wolverine is suit. Nice, good job. From Target, you got Jurassic Park 93 Classic Red Rex. Nice, on sale. And you got the Legacy Collection Reimagined The Incarnatoris. Nice, dude. Collection's growing. Yo, says the Legacy of Nerd. What's going on, brother? Thank you for joining. We got Jeff in the house saying hello there. Dude, I saw your picture, Jeff, all the way from Hoth. That does not look fun, man. That does not look like a place on
Nope.
earth. We got Nilda in the house. Appetite for Collectibles saying, "Hey there, what's up, Nilda? Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you, dude. I loved your Die Hard cosplay, dude. That was so cool. I was laughing when I saw that. Ultracar is saying hi to Legacy of Nerd. Hi, says the Legacy of Nerd. Ultracar says also got my 118 Hollow ODST helmet. Nice, man. You've customized
Nice.
those figures. Cool T-shirt, Daddy. That's right. Always. Neil that says the Dad Vader. Neil that's saying hi to Daddy Vader. Ooh, I like this daddy talk.
Ooh.
Dan says the Dad Vader. Jeff says the Dad Vader, along with Darth Angel. Jeff is saying it's that time. Christmas time is here. Everybody knows there's not a better time of the year. Yes, sir. Unless you like warm weather, and then apparently your spot is definitely not the place to be, bro. Freezy in the house, 4 months till celebration, bro. Don't even remind me, dude. It gives me jitters when I start thinking about how much stuff I still don't have, booked. But it's
Well,
gonna
we were
happen.
talking about that. Like, we're like, oh yeah, we can plan out next year. And they're like, yeah, that's like in 3 months. Like,
That's
oh shit, I thought it was eight
exactly,
months
dude.
away. Yeah.
Yeah. So a little bit of an insight. So Mike and I, we've been talking about obviously upping our presence in conventions, right? You guys know that this year, and we'll talk about it. This year, we definitely hit quite a bit of conventions, and it was super fun, and it was great meeting some of you guys in person, meeting some of the fans, getting sort of the channel out there, and growing that way. Um, so I was like, you know what? This year it kind of felt like we were playing it by ear, right? Um, but I was like, you know what? We got a pretty good idea of what we want to do next year. So how about we just write down a list of cons that both of us know we want to go. A few of them we want to participate in, right? Like we want to be a part of them in some way, shape, or form. And then there's a few that we might need to travel for as well. So let's just start sort of scoping it out. Um, and man, I don't know that overall I'm glad we did it, but holy smokes, man, when I
Yeah.
saw that list, I was like, yikes. That's quite a bit. That is quite a bit. And to give you guys even further insight, one of them starts literally in a month, right? So it's December, sorry, January. Yeah, it's January 16, right? It's literally a month
Yep.
from today. So kind of crazy, kind of crazy. We're excited, of course, and we hope to be able to make it to at least most of these shows, so that we can hang out with y'all, meet again some of the fans, just kind of get our name out there as well, and just have fun, really, just doing this whole thing. But yeah, it's an interesting list. I think we did a good job, overall. But like I said, it one of them is literally in a month, um, and then I guess we get. See, I would say like couple of months worth of like no shows, but there's always something going on, like
Always
here in the
something popping
city.
up. Yep.
And then Japan, right? Well, Japan, I'm going. Mike is not, but still, there's quite a bit that we gotta prepare for. Um, and then the summer, dude. I mean, May till like September, right? Like August is pretty heavy for us too. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting year. I think it's gonna be fun. So we're definitely looking forward to a lot of these shows. Um, the man collects. What is going on, Chris? Saying what's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome. Jeff saying Christmas vacation. Let's go. Yes, dude. I technically I'm on vacation already, which is why I've been spamming you guys with so many videos. Um, it feels good, man. I edited 3 videos last night. I haven't done that in like, actually I don't even know when I the last time I actually pulled that off. Easy videos, so don't think that I'm a great editor or anything like that. They're basically the panel
Graphic,
videos that
graphic, graphic, graphic,
exactly.
graphic, graphic.
Yes, and then like branding, and then close. Uh, and so there are convention panel videos from Nostalgicon last weekend or 2 weekends ago now, and I've just been I've had them there. I've just been wanting to shape them up, fix a couple of Zoom things, and just get them out. So last night it felt good, man, to just kind of knock some of those out. So you'll be seeing a few more of those from me still. Um, Ultra Carter saying hi to Appetite for Collectibles. Nilda saying hi to Ultra Carter. Yeah. So that bitter asks, what are y'all's Christmas plans? What do you got going on? Some eggnog? You kind of have to, right? It's almost a
Got to.
must. Yo, our multiverse moderator Rolando in the house saying hello. What's up, brother? Jeff saying just hanging out, eating, cleaning up cold storage for projects as too cold on hot. Exactly outside. The markers and absolutely eggnog. Yes, man. Keep those tauntauns within the markers because they'll freeze over too.
It's very true.
We got Elijah saying Rolando. Dad Verison, Rolando the Wiz, absolutely. And Rolando, of course, wasting no time saying hi to everybody here in the chat. Ultra Carter saying hi to Rolando. Good to see you, buddy. Absolutely. Nilda also saying hi to Rolando. All right, we're caught up. So, a couple of things here. One, so we kind of want to take this opportunity um, to reminisce, to look back a little bit at what this year brought us. And this year was intense. All right, I'll just lead off
Yep.
saying that. Um, and we wanted to do it, like I said, on this episode specifically. I don't know that this will be the last episode for the year. I might be able to sneak in one more here or there. But this is more than likely going to be our last episode together, so that schedules line up and all that stuff. If we can swing something else, we will, but it's not for sure. So, like I said, we kind of wanted to do this together here and just talk to you guys and kind of, go over a little bit of the stuff that happened this year, which again is kind of a lot. So, um, as I was going back, and kind of looking at my Instagram posts and things like that, I'm like, yeah, that's right. That was still this year. Like some of this stuff feels like it was ages ago, dude, like at
Mhm.
least 2 years ago. And it's kind of crazy. Um,
It was a
so
fast year, and we're also old. So I think
exactly,
that
which
combined
is,
together,
oh,
yeah.
it's a very interesting combination. Yeah, just ask my joints. And so yeah, we've we've grown quite a bit, right? I would say this is absolutely the best year for the channel, and thank you to all of y'all who have supported. Some of y'all have supported literally from day one, and I really really and truly appreciate that. um but I wanted to go a little bit in chronological order. um so I want to show here, just for perspective, right? Just to kick things off. um This is my badge for December 29th of last year, right? So just about the end of the year, we finished out with 1,700 subscribers here on General Economics Bunker, right, on YouTube. Um, and this at this point, the channel has been uh, last December. It had been like 2.5 years, since we opened the channel. So it was a grind, it was a grind for sure. But I am super happy to report that, like today, we're pretty close to 7,800 subscribers. So quite the difference. I think, we're definitely gonna get there by December 29th, because we're only like what, like 3 away or something like that, 4 away for 78 subscribers, 7,800, sorry. So we're pretty close.
Almost there. Yep.
Yeah, we're
Almost.
definitely close. If I may be so bold, I would say that probably within the next couple of days we should be there, right? So it's just kind of crazy again, the just the amount. Um, but how do you call it? Do you remember what you started off your Instagram at this year?
The man around this time last year, I think I broke 1,000. I'm
Yeah,
not 100% sure, but I was
Sounds
I
about
was
right, I
just
think.
I was just a Weevator, you know.
Yeah.
I wasn't there yet.
Yeah. And here you are. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, right? I mean, you got what,
I'm a
six?
Bitcoin now.
Yeah, exactly. But now you got over 6,000, right? If I remember correctly.
Yep,
Yeah. So, I mean, hell of a growth spur for sure.
definitely.
In a year. So, and again, guys, we just want to thank you, for that. Um, but it was interesting. Again, to sort of go back and look at this little, like, you know, uh, little landmarks, right? That we've seen like along the way. And I just want to preface everything by saying that I think I speak for both of us, but we don't, we're not in it for the numbers per se, right? Um, However, it is a metric that we can all sort of point to, right? So it's what the system gives you as your measurement, right, of success up to a point. Again, we don't measure the success here of the channel of this project, that we're doing by those numbers. However, it is an indicator, right? It is
Yep,
part of the overall picture. um, I think we both agree that a more important aspect of it has been the community, right? Sort of
definitely.
how much we've grown in the community, how much the community has reached out to us, invited us to things. Honestly, just recognize us, right? I mean, it's kind of nuts when somebody actually recognizes you out there at a convention or something like that.
Yep.
It's still super weird to me, anyway. But yeah, so again, we just want to sort of preface this whole thing, right? Because I'm going to show you some numbers. You're going to be like, well, that's all you care about. It's really not. But like I
Nope.
said, it is a piece of it, right? It is a little bit of like I said, just little road marks, right? That we've gone along the way, and it just kind of shows, how much the channel has grown and how much the community has grown as well. Um, so yeah, it this year was definitely kind of crazy. We've had man, I don't even know how many like actual conventions
Oh,
we've sort of like actually been part of.
I
It's
uh
been
I want to poke your brain on this one real quick.
yeah,
So Leilani,
yeah,
when she came to the here, I always mix him up.
yeah.
Uh,
Alamo
Joseph,
Hero.
Alamo Hero, when
Yes.
they did it in, was it Shirts or up there, like heading towards the
Yeah, yeah,
Bronco?
yeah. It was
When was that? Do you remember when that was?
yeah, I'm trying to remember. I know she was here last September because that's when she ended up having dinner here at the house.
Hmm.
But I'm trying to remember what date that was. I'm trying to go back here into my pictures, because was that March? I want to say. Mm,
I can't remember exactly when it was. I might be able to pull it up on
yeah,
my
I'm not
pictures.
seeing it, but um,
That was one of my first cons with the Star Wars Association of San Antonio.
that's right.
Um, and I was real nervous. I still hadn't fully come out of my nerd shell.
Yeah, yeah,
That was the first time that I saw you there, and I think
yeah,
maybe Daniel was there. I, of course, had the helmet on. Y'all couldn't see me, but I'm like, who are these guys, and
yeah,
why do I sense the
yeah.
force is strong with them?
Exactly. And I remember that because so I've met Ray before that, right?
Hmm.
And we've talked, and he actually made me a helmet, which is back there in a new display. Um and so we've talked about, sort of like some of the shows that he was doing and stuff like that. And I remember him saying that he was going to be there. And I think how did it go? I think I saw you because I remember, of course the setup and stuff when you were walking around. But then I think on your second lap around, I think Ray was with you and he stopped by like where we were. And then he kind of like quickly like introduced us, but I couldn't really hear you like out of the mask.
Yep.
So I was like, I'm pretty sure he said his name, but I didn't catch it. So it's just one of those things, right? That we've talked about here before. Um, you identify the person, you know their handle or their username, but their actual government name still kind of like
Yep.
escapes you.
But that was
Um,
definitely a touch and go for a period of time because it's like I would
yeah,
see people, and of course when I'm in the full get up, like if you hand me a sticker, I don't have pockets, so I'm like, crap, and then I try to put it down somewhere, and then it walks off, or
yeah,
I'm trying to find that person later on. I'm like, I was dehydrated, so I don't fully remember what your face looked like. So
yeah, very
so
much
it
so.
took me a while to start finding y'all, but then once I did, man, it's just been a blast. And like you said, it's a big blur because we've done so much stuff in a short
That's what I was
window
gonna
of
say.
time.
It's so again, I was thinking about this. We're gonna be jumping all over the place, guys, because this is
Oh,
just as we're
reminiscing.
remembering. Yeah, exactly. We're just reminiscing about the year. And again, some of this stuff feels like it was at least last year, and it was 6 months ago. So what I was gonna say is, I think you and I technically started working together, right? What was that, like around Rebel ScumCon, like around that time, which was like
Which was
June.
first, Nostalgia Con or
No, you know
Rebel
what?
Scum
You're
Con?
absolutely right. You're absolutely right. NostalgiaCon, because NostalgiaCon was in May, and I remember
Yeah.
May because May was an insane month for me. Um, so you're absolutely right. So we had this first time show here in the city, first time ever show, right? Like overall, Nostalgicon was launching, and they did it here in San Antonio, and we were involved in it. I got to host some panels. Shout out to Daniel from the Legacy of Nerd for helping us out with that. And
Ooh,
ooh,
the
there you
real
go.
the real Dark Lord's
I
calling.
know. I was gonna say,
Excuse me one
better
moment.
better take that.
Got to take that one.
And so I had asked Mike if he was cool with helping me, sort of, drive some of the traffic into my little setup, because I was trying to promote the channel, but at the same time, keep a booth and host some panels, right? And so I was kind of running around like crazy. So I had asked Mike, I was like, hey man, if you're cool, would you mind, just like showing up? Um, which I think you were already gonna do, right, with Heroes and Heroes and More, but
Yep.
only 1 or 2 days or something like that.
I think I had I think I had 2 days. I had like Friday
Yeah,
and then maybe Saturday or
like
Sunday. But and you were
yeah,
like, well,
one
if
of
you could
those.
help out on one of these days, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, yeah,
And
for
so
sure.
and so Mike was awesome. He was out there in full getup that time, right? Full Vader suit. And it was, I wouldn't say it wasn't hot inside, but I wouldn't say it was cold either. It was like fine-ish, but that's for me, right? Like wearing, just regular
Yeah.
civilian clothes. Like for Mike on the freaking suit, it was hot. And so he did awesome. You were there for like hours, man, that day. I remember, helped us out a ton, to drive some of the people to go check out, our booth and stuff. Because the setup, we were kind of on like a U-shaped wraparound, right? So you couldn't really see us from like different angles. You had to come to the front of the booth to really see like who was there. So during that, again, we're gonna be jumping around, but keeping it to May. um May was actually, again, a crazy month, because we not kinda, we pretty much went viral, during May. Um, and so this is January 21st of this year, right? We're at 1,800 subscribers. Um, by March, so keep that in mind, right? That was more than a month. By March, we're at 2,000 subscribers. By the end of April, so again, almost 2 months, we're at 2,500 subscribers. So you see the trend, right? You see the
Hmm.
trend. Couple of months, 500 subscribers ish, right? So this is just before May hits. So May 10, right? So 2 weeks later, from what I just showed you, we're at 3,000 subscribers. So instead of 2 months, all of a sudden it was 2 weeks, right, for 500 subscribers. So that's May 10. Then 4 days later, we're at 3,500 subscribers. So we went from 2 months, 2 weeks, 4 days, right, for 500 subs. Then another 5 days later, right, another 500. Another, what was that? This was like, no, yeah, 5 days, 4 days, sorry, another 500. right? Um, so on and so forth. So this is at the end of May, right? So June 1st, we're at 6,000 subscribers, right? It is nuts, guys. So we went from what was that? Um, whoops, we went from 2,500 subscribers, at the end of April, right, to 6,000, in the month of May. So we double our subscriber, count just in May. So that's what I would say. Like May was it
It's a big
almost gave
month.
me like whiplash, to be honest, because there was so much going on. Um, May 3rd, the most important day here for the nation is my birthday. uh, May 4th, second most important day for the nation, is May 4th be with you. Mind you, that is also the day that Darkside had their soft opening, sort of
Oh
like
yeah.
an invite only type of event, which Michael was, cool enough to invite me to. And that was a blast too. But then I think it was the following weekend we had Nostalgicon, right? So we were working there pretty much all weekend, right? We were just kind of um, you know um, focused and physically there, obviously, pretty much all day, all of those 3 days. And I just kept getting notifications like, like boom, another milestone. And then like, now you're at this, and I'm like, what is going on? So May, like I said, May was the craziest month for growth, by far. I don't think there's any other month that even comes close, right, to it. um so a
But
lot of
definitely well deserved because you did a
appreciate that,
lot of
man.
work. A lot of work. That was the
Thank you,
con
thank you.
hustle that you were putting down. And I mean, a lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of work that goes into
Oh
promoting your name, your brand, whatever you want to do. Like you have to like go after each and every one and
yeah,
hope that you impress them enough to they share something or they like something, and it builds that
exactly.
momentum. So bravo to you, sir, because that was a lot of work.
No, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. And like I said, you were a part of that. And yeah, but it was crazy, dude. It was unexpected for sure. It was awesome. Not gonna say, like it wasn't, but definitely unexpected. So again, that's literally May, right? The month of May is where, what is that? Like 50% of my subscribers come from, like just about, my current subscriber count. So it's kind of crazy to think, um how long it took previous to that point, right? And then how we came out of that month. um so, and still it kind of kept going. So June, middle of June, we're at 6,500, and then middle of July we're at 7,000, right? So, and that's when it definitely starts to slow down, right? The definitely we didn't the rhythm didn't stay. But around this time we also had our 3-year anniversary here on the channel. So June 23rd is our anniversary. uh, so that was 3 years of having the channel here on YouTube, which again feels, kind of nuts, man. Like kind of nuts to say, considering all the stuff that's happened. Like I said, this year has definitely, felt like the most active one. That's not to say we weren't doing stuff before. I felt that there was always something going on, like pretty much every month of this year. There was some smaller or bigger thing, but we were like constantly doing something for the channel. Um let me jump back here into the chat, because you guys are on fire and I appreciate y'all. Let's see. Wow, where I fell way behind.
Just a little bit.
Dang it. Yeah, I did. Here. All right, Rolando, wasting no time and dropping some links. So we got the Man Collects YouTube channel, who, by the way, has, pretty much dwarfed our growth here on the channel, and very well deserved, man. The Man Collects is a freaking toy hunting machine. All right, so we appreciate everything that he does for the toy hunting community, because he's almost single-handedly, keeping it alive. Don't get me wrong. There's other great toy hunters out there. I'm just saying he's like super constant, which is super hard to do. Well, it is for me anyway. Like I can't freaking be, like he does what, 3 videos a week, something like that. But like on set, on a set schedule, right?
Mhm.
He's always hitting his marks. And again, I wish I was that organized or that dedicated, but I'm not. Rolando dropping also appetite for collectibles. So check out Nilda here on YouTube. Dad Vader posing the question: what's some highlights for y'all in 2024? Let us know. Let us know. We'll
Yeah,
talk
let us
about
know.
them. Also, Rolando dropping the legacy of nerds. Speaking of growth, man, this year has been insane for him as well, and very, very well deserved. This man is always working. Also dropping Flex Instagram, Ultra Cutter's Instagram as well. Of course, the Dad Vader's Instagram. You definitely want to follow him, dude. He's way better at me, at Instagram than I am. Jeff says, even Yoda would say, like you must. Help us spread the word. Hit that like button. Appreciate you, Jeff. Thank you so much. And yes, we will definitely appreciate it if you hit that like button here on the stream. Let's we're just reminiscing. We're kind of wrapping up, uh our memories here for 2024. And we're not going to talk about every single thing that happened this year, don't worry, but we do want to hit some landmarks, like I said, because this was a very interesting year. Very interesting year.
November 3rd, I stubbed my toe.
Yes, there you go. And that will be a day that goes down in infamy. Nilda saying, and that's why I love this channel so much. It's not about the numbers. Appreciate you, Nilda. Thank you for that. That means a lot. And again, guys, it's really not. It's just a quantifiable, measure of how crazy this year has been, right, in terms of the channel growth. Rolando dropping his own toy hunts, and definitely go check him out. And if you haven't, you gotta subscribe. Come on now, he's always showing love here to pretty much everybody's channel. So let's share some love back. Frizzy saying 2024, I drove 8 hours to a con in Sioux Falls to get autos and photos with Rosario and Lars Mikkelsen. Nice, dude.
This
I
is the
mean,
way.
yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like a worthy trip to me. Rosario
Definitely.
and Lars, sign me up. Yes, definitely showing some love to Neil for that. Appreciate you, Team Rebels Comic Con. Oh, it's gonna be fun. It was a lot of fun this year too. But
Year two, I'm hearing rumblings. I'm hearing rumblings.
it's gonna be interesting.
Some agents have been asking for some feedback from the previous years, and they reached out and asked a little bit from the fans of what we enjoyed,
There you
especially
go.
when it came to their souvenir autograph. Remember those little collector cards?
Yeah,
I think some of the agents, this might be the first time they've ever seen that. So they were kind of curious on that. So
bro. I
I think that was pretty awesome.
I regret it not, because they weren't expensive per se, right? I want to say they were like $10 each, something around there.
I'm trying to remember because they had the big ones and then they had like the little ones.
Well,
I can't
the
remember.
the 3.75 type, right? I think those they would sell to you for like $10, something like that. But the little ones came with your purchase of an autograph.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I have the one from Ahmed Best and the one from Young Luke.
Hmm.
When I purchased those autographs, they give you the tiny version of it, which I
I
thought
have all
was
the
so
tiny
cool.
ones.
Do you? Dang,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I was gonna say, I wish I would have gone and back, at least get the smaller ones, right? Because they were pretty cool. And you can
They
always
might
port in.
still have them on their website,
Oh
and
yeah, I
it's
need to
not
check.
expensive.
They had
It
some.
was not expensive. They had some leftovers, so
Yeah, they did.
they do the Walmart or yeah, it's the Walmart way where they
Yeah,
drop their
right.
prices low, low, low.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's actually a good point. I like them. I thought that was like the perfect thing. If you didn't have something to get auto, like that was perfect, because you can pair that with a figure, for example, right?
Hmm.
And you can just display it in front of it. I don't know. I thought it was so cool, especially because a lot of them don't have figures, right? So you at least get a custom card, that looks legit. And whenever there is a figure later on, you can pair them up, and you're kind of ready. Or so I thought that was a great idea. I like them a lot. Daniel saying a lot of things happened this year. Yeah, no kidding, dude. And again, nowhere near as much as it happened for Daniel. Hey, what's up, Sean? Welcome, man. Appreciate you. Good seeing you, man. Congrats. Keep up the hard work. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Nilda, says Sean. Sean Solo says Rolando. Sean says Nilda. And Rolando says Sean. Hello there, says Aboard the Banner. What's going on, man? Thank you
Hey,
so much for joining. Appreciate you. Dude, you've been killing it with your new setup, by the way. Rolando said, dropping Instagram for Sean Solo. Make sure you check it out. Is that Solo? Says Flex. It is. Can you believe that? That's awesome, man. Flex, says Sean. Rolando also dropping Aboard the Vendors YouTube channel here. Make sure you check him out, formerly known as McClunky Cast. So definitely not a stranger here to the Bunker Bunch, and we appreciate it. And you definitely guys want to check him out. The rebrand, it came with an overhaul of his studio. It's a whole thing. You owe it to yourself to check it out. Flag saying, "Miss you, brother. On my way back very soon," says Sean. Good man, good. LOL says Flex, how's everyone tonight? Asking Aboard the Banner. Just here reminiscing,
hanging out.
about 2024, talking about some of the crazy stuff that's happened. Chris saying, thank you, sir. No, thank you. Uh, Chat, should we get Magic Neil tattoos? Oh, dude, don't tempt me with a good time. All right.
Yeah.
Sup, ATV says Flex. What's up, Flex? Says ATV. Oh, I'm going to start using that. Although I do like to say Venator a lot. That's one of my favorite ships. AT Venator, no, that doesn't cut it. I don't know. Now I'm torn. Thank you guys. Hate you. Jeff said, I met a really cool guy for beers and a pizza. Ooh, I had a story that started like that, but I didn't get the figures he promised at the end of it. Elijah saying, Jeff says, and I met a really cool guy as well for a 3-day sleepover, though. Man, sounds like y'all had some great, great years. A little bit jealous. ATV saying, I don't know. Sounds, I'll give it a couple shots. So I ended up buying a ton of those ghosts. LOL. Next con, I'm doing trivia interviews and giving them away. Damn, look at that with the
No.
flex. Must be
I mean,
nice to have all that disposable income.
when you get them for
All,
$5, I mean, you
yeah,
kind of
right.
have to.
Seriously, dude. Oh man, those have been. I still don't get it, right? So they were. I could have sworn there were 70 when they came out. But even at 60, like they were listed right on Walmart. Um, even
69.95
something
or
like
whatever it
that.
was. I
Yeah,
think it was Target when they first popped out. I
yeah,
think I saw
because
that. I was like, damn. I mean, it's a good
yeah,
looking
because
kit, but $70.
absolutely right. Because I remember bumping into one months ago. One of my toy hunts at Target, and I had not seen it anywhere else, right? Nor had I seen anybody post about seeing it outside of Target. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is not an exclusive, but Target just got it first, I guess. And I'm like, man, it is cool. It's massive. I like it. And then I scanned it, and it was, yeah, I remember it was like around the $70 mark. I was like, yeesh, that is, I don't know. I'm gonna pass on that one for now, right? And wait. Lo and behold, $15, right? A few months later. But what I was gonna say is, what the thing that surprised me is that they just stayed there, man. They would not run out of stock for days. I'm like,
Mhm.
how many of these do you guys have? Like, you literally needed to clear out, a piece of your warehouse or something, because I don't know, I would not have thought they would have survived more than like a day, right, online. Especially if we can just order and get them delivered, right? If you gotta do like ship to store and stuff like that, then I'll believe it, because not a lot of people like to mess with that, or some of them, they're like, oh, we can't honor that price, or I've had all kinds of stuff happen with
Yep.
Walmart. But this one was direct, shipped to you and stuff.
Open your front door and hey, there's a
Dude,
ghost.
exactly, seriously. And for $15, man, it is nuts. um and so I was very surprised, because I want to say it was still up like 4, maybe 5 days later, after like the first time that somebody told us. And I would have never thought, that to be the case. So I'm assuming they literally had like pallets and pallets of them, just in their warehouse that they needed to clear
I
out.
mean, it's a big ship, so it does take
It
up quite
is.
a bit of space. So, I mean,
It
if it
is.
was a fire sale and they're like, we are getting rid of this pennies, we're making pennies here, get rid of it.
And it might be so, but I'm just saying, for a ship that was launched this year, right?
Yep.
And from what I saw, it was very popular. People were picking it up. Um, so yeah, I don't know.
Or maybe
Maybe
there was like a internal Star Wars fan who was like, "I'm doing it for the people," and he hacked the system.
I
He's
was
like
gonna say
15 hard lock, and then
that intern,
destroyed
last
yeah.
day, exactly. He locked it for like a week. He's like, nope, can't change the
Mhm.
price, and boom, out it goes. Um, which is funny you mentioned that because so $30 during Black Friday, right? I was like, okay, that makes sense. 50% off, I see that. That I believe. But then it goes down an additional 50%, right? On top of that. So that's we're talking about what, 75% discount, 80% discount, something like that. And I was like,
Massive.
all right, this is probably not right. I'm like, am I gonna get a cancellation notice here? Like, like, oh, sorry, it was a mistake, or oh, we're out of stock or something. So I just kept waiting for the email. And then literally the next morning it's like, oh, it shipped. I was like, okay, so it's happening. Super
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, my swap out got me all those other ships I had. So
Yeah.
thank you, Walmart.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. It was a great move, by the way. But yeah. So I hear you. Let's see, I almost did it.
Mhm.
ATV. I hear you, ATV. But man, you are my hero if you're gonna be lugging those around, con floor,
Oh, I know.
and just throwing them at people. Here you go, free stuff.
You
But
gotta
hey,
go.
yeah, exactly. You get a ghost, and probably take
But
some
he's gonna
heat out.
unbox them in like football style. Because I mean,
He
it's got that
should.
football shape, right? Just
It does. Yeah, I'm
launching it
sure
at
you get a
people,
few spins out of that. Yeah.
just pegging
Uh,
people.
yeah, absolutely. Nilda says, Kenobi Invader, I'll probably be seeing you guys soon, planning a trip to San Antonio. Hey, you let us know. We'll be here.
We're here.
Yeah. So let us know. We'll go out to Dark Side. We'll probably won't remember the rest of it, but it's going to be fun. Jeff.
What is the opening? I see his videos on the construction. Dark Side
Yeah.
after.
What is that? Oh, man, I forgot when he's opening that section. Yes. So he expanded into, I guess technically it is another building. It's an adjacent building, but he connected the two, and so that portion is a little bit more of like a bar lounge, type of thing.
Okay,
So my understanding is you still can order food, right? It just there it'll be more of like a bigger bar, right,
gotcha.
with some outside seating. So it's a little bit more like a, yeah, I would say like a nightly hangout, right? You go out there, you hang out in the patio, and stuff like that. There's some trees there. It's pretty nice. The cool thing is that at the bar, or I should say on top of the bar, like immediately above it, it's a crash down helicopter that he's
I
hanging
saw
up.
that. Yep.
Yeah, and he's gonna put in a predator, I believe. So
Mm.
it's gonna be like jungle theme, like on the inside with the crashed,
Welcome to
helicopter.
the jungle.
Exactly. And so it's gonna be awesome. But yeah, it is a good point. When is he opening
When does
that?
that open? That way, so everyone in the chat can come buy us drinks to help us celebrate hitting
Exactly.
10,000 subscribers
Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. Now I'm wondering because
or
I think I saw it at some
future.
point.
Yeah,
Um,
I thought he had said tentatively a date, but I can't remember off the top of my head. It does look pretty cool though. So if you are in San Antonio and it's open, we got something to do. We can definitely hang out there. Or if not, we'll just eat pizza and chill on the other side. So
oh,
it's all good.
absolutely. Either way, don't get me wrong. Like the regular portion of it is still awesome. So he made a post like 7 hours ago, and it says, "Looks more like the planet Hoth," because he put the installation. He's like, "I'm very
Mhm.
excited about this part of the builds," and he just said, "Stay tuned." So I don't know, but yeah, I agree. I could have sworn that I saw sort of like an ETA on that. Maybe not. I don't know. So anybody here in the chat has talked to Michael lately and has gotten a date from him? Let us know. I actually want to take the fam out there. Probably, actually, you know what? This weekend, more than likely this weekend, because the in-laws are here. Friday, yeah, Friday to Friday, and now they open Sunday. Dark side. They didn't used to
Yep.
before, so now they open Sunday. So maybe Sunday we'll make an excursion out there. Um, before the holiday week starts and all that. So I'm looking forward to that. I've I haven't taken my dad. I know my dad will get a kick out of it too, with all the 70s and 80s stuff. So
Mhm.
we might do a big ol' family dinner out there. Um, hell yeah, bro. LL says, Elijah, We got the Countdown City Geeks in the house asking the tough questions here. Your favorite panel this year, Sam Whitwer or Matthew Wood? Those were great, great panels at some of the biggest shows, that we have, the biggest shows that we got here in town. And dare I say, they're pretty big, to contend with some of the big boys nationally. I kind of put him up there already with some of the like Fan Expo and stuff like that. Like these shows have grown quite a bit. The shows specifically. So Sam Whitwer was here for Superhero Comic Con here in San Antonio. Um, they actually brought him to do free selfies and free autographs, which was nuts. Uh,
Insane.
yeah, yeah, and he wasn't the only one. They had more guests doing that.
'Cause it
I
was
jumped.
2 years ago they did like a handful, like maybe 3
Yes.
like guests that were like free autograph pictures. And then this past year they're like, you know what? Let's make it 10.
Hmm.
Like, what?
Including one Dr. Peter Weller, by the way. So RoboCop was out here with, I don't know if you saw it, but they had that Detroit, theme
Oh, the
patrol
squad
car.
car?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
squad car. Yeah, right there at his booth, which I thought was perfect, obviously. No, it was legit. Like the free stuff was insane. Like it would be easily like top tier for like another con.
Oh yeah.
Uh, like there will be A-listers in other cons. So it was crazy. Sam was awesome. I got to co-host that panel, for superhero. And big shout out. I don't know if he'll pop in here into the chat, but big shout out to Big John, from Nerd Customs, right? Because he made that panel, bro. Like he if it wasn't for him, we would not have closed as strong as we did. So you guys have hear the story, so I'll just tell it, very briefly. We do our panel with Sam, and Sam Whitwer has his own rhythm type of thing. He's got stories to tell that he's told a lot of times, and it's almost like a monologue. Like he has to get some things out, right? That he's kind of in his mind are probably necessary to tell the story. Anyway, we get through that, and it's all good. We get to the fan questions, right? And the way we do it, or the way the shows do it, is fans before the panel they submit their reading questions. So we kind of go through them. Obviously, there's some they're like, yeah, no, this is not gonna happen. So we kind of set those aside, and then we'll try to choose, some of the best ones. Now, one of them, we're like, all right, this has to be the last one because it's, can you do the Kenobi, yell?
The scream.
Exactly. And we messed up a little bit, full on transparency, because we didn't ask him beforehand. He kind of got there, sort of nick of time for the panel to start. So we're like, hey, we're your moderators, we're your panelists. We're gonna be doing this and this, and then we're gonna have like quick audience questions, but they're pre-screened, so nothing weird. And then we just went on, right? We introduce him, we bring him on board and stuff. And anyway, end of the panel, and we bring up the last question, right? Like, can you yell out Kenobi? And I saw him, he's like, oh, like kind of like, I hate you guys, and not in a crappy, way, just kind of like, oh, dang it, this is gonna hurt. Um,
And he's
but
talked about that. It
it
does wear
does
and tear on his
physically,
throat. Yeah.
exactly, it does physically hurt. And so, but it was Big John who actually submitted that question.
That was his question. Yep.
Yeah, Big John though is sitting front and center, so first row, and so he's literally right there. And so Sam starts to say something like, I don't really like doing it, that much anymore. And Big John, with his beautiful tenor voice, he just goes, "It's my first con, like please." And Sam goes like, "Oh, damn you!" like
But
he's
he
like,
did the kind of the,
"Yeah,
like for a second he was like, oh, I
exactly,
have to do it now. Like
yeah."
he
He's
needs
like,
it.
"All right,
Like we
it's his
need it.
first con, yeah." And so it's funny you say that because when he does that, I'm like, dude, he's not happy about this, right? but lo and behold, he was getting into character, right? Because that's when in the scene, right, Maul is having like a vision, and so he's actually like closing his eyes. We just can't see it from our angle, and so I'm like, dude, like, is he mad? Like, did we made him mad? And then he starts the monologue, right? It's like, I can see him, like even now. And I'm like, oh dude, he's doing it. And so I was like, all right, now then I caught up to, okay, he was prepping, like that was him getting into character, not, it there might have been an inkling of like, I was like, oh my god, not again, type of thing. uh, but he did it, he killed it, it sounded amazing. Big John let out the biggest scream ever, right, when he was done. And the panel was great, right? And so we thanked him. It was a great moment. And then afterwards, we told him, I was like, hey man, sorry, we should have cleared it with you, right? This one in particular, because it takes some out of you, right? And he's like, yeah, he's like, actually, I don't, I don't like doing it that much because it actually does hurt, like it physically does hurt. um he's like, but it's fine, it was his first con and stuff. And he's like, so I kind of had to do it. And we're like, dude, you're awesome, like thank you for that and stuff. And he's like, yeah, no worries guys, like so he was very cool about it. So that was very fun. But then in October during SpaceCon, I got to host my first solo panel, at a big show like that.
Look at that
And
crowd.
yeah, dude, it was kind of nuts. Mind you, this is the first panel of the day on Sunday. But here's what I was gonna say. So very quickly, Matthew Wood is awesome. He's great. He's actually very fluent. Like he flowed very well. Like I was not expecting that. Because so Matt Wood, in case you don't know, he's basically the sound architect behind everything from like 1995, 96, like onwards. So he worked on the special editions, both of them, the 97 and the 2004. He definitely worked on the prequels, right? And then the sequels. Now he's doing Marvel. He's doing a ton of stuff, right? He's working on the shows. He's working on Skeleton Crew. Before you ask, he's the one who's putting in those inklings of like Pirates of the Caribbean music and stuff like that, the little jingles. um and so he was great. um but afterwards he kind of just says like, oh, who's next? And I'm like, it's actually Ewan McGregor. And um and he's like, oh, then I'm just gonna hang out here backstage until he shows up. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? I was like, we're hanging out to wait for Ewan McGregor. And so I was like, dude, I'm not leaving. Like I'm hanging out here.
Hmm.
So for like a solid like maybe 10 minutes, I was just hanging out with Matt Wood. And he's super cool again, like he's just super chill. And then this happened. So this is the man, the myth, the legend, the gorgeousness that's Ewan McGregor walking in. First thing he does, goes straight for Matt, shakes his hand. Mind you, I'm literally right there, right? Like this is me recording. Uh so I'm like, freaking out.
Holding
And
in that
so,
girlish scream.
oh, dude, yeah, but barely,
Hmm.
Uh, some of it is definitely seeping. So, panel wise, I feel I enjoyed Matt Wood a little bit more because I felt we hit a good rhythm. Question answers and all like his stories were great length and stuff like that. Um, the crowd let out, a few LOLs, which I thought was cool. Um, so strictly talking about panel, I felt I enjoyed Matthew Wood a little bit more because, like I said, Sam has a little bit of his own rhythm, and it took a little bit the first few questions to for us to like sync with him, Whereas with Matt, I felt that we were kind of in tune, very quickly. And then, of course, if we add the fact that Matt got me to see Ewan McGregor backstage, then I mean, I'm sorry, like don't get me wrong, I love Sam, but come on,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Um, and so that was quite the panels this year for sure. Um, half an hour answer for your for your question from the Countdown City Geeks. And again,
But that's
guys,
what we're
if you
talking about. Highlights of
exactly
2024,
right,
right?
we're
That's
kind of reminiscing about it. And if you haven't, guys, definitely go check out Countdown City Geeks on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, basically everywhere, guys. Doing a lot of awesome stuff, not just with Star Wars, but with everything geek related, um, and wrestling for that matter. Wrestling, we do quite a bit, so make sure you check them out. Board the Venator says, I need to get that Commander Grieve video out fast, lol, so I can make the Ren helmet review. Dang, son. I've been so busy lately. I actually took up boxing recently, so I started New Year's resolution early. Dude,
mhm,
good job. Look
duking it
at
out.
you. Yeah, man. Good job, man. Proud of you. Um, Jeff saying the helicopter is from X-Men also. Yes, that's right. So that crashed helicopter is actually screen used for Dark Phoenix, I believe. X-Men Dark Phoenix. Hey, look who it is. Archer from Nerd Affiliate say, my bad. I just realized I was lurking and talking to myself instead of typing in the chat like a normal person. I don't know what that means. What is a normal person? Ultra Currency, I had a nerd affiliated. Ultra Carter also saying, all right, guys, have to go now. See you guys next time. Appreciate you, Ultra Carter. Get some rest, and thank you for always hanging out with us. Countdown City Geek saying, Big John, you're the real MVP. For sure, man. He closed us out so perfect. Later, Ultra says that better. Ultra says nerd affiliated. Countdown, what was your favorite panel? Oh, there you go. There you go. Because our friend here, Ted from Countdown City Geeks at SpaceCon had quite a few bangers, actually. I mean, first of all, he had one of the most highly anticipated panels, which was Hayden Christensen and Rosario Dawson. That was an exclusive panel. You actually had to pay extra to get into that one because that one was after the con was over. So that was
What do
like
they call that one? It's like a night with Hayden or something like that.
so it used to be a night with Hayden because he was the one that was going to be here. Then they added Rosario to the roster like months later. Then they added her to that, special event too. The cool thing is that people who had bought the ticket for Hayden initially, they were set, like no change for them. So it was a heck of a bonus, right? To get
Bonus, yeah.
also Rosario. Yeah. So if you bought those tickets, good on you because you got, um, of course, depending when you got it, but you got more than you initially, right, signed up for, which was awesome. So Ted got to moderate that one, but he also moderated Josh Brolin, and that panel was nuts. Um, and let alone many other great ones. I mean, Giancarlo Esposito, which is like his friend, he's done 4 or 5 panels with him at this point. I'm not even sure. Y'all's plan for 2025. Will we see you? Exactly. Where are you guys gonna head up to these conventions? Are we gonna see you at Rebels Comic Con? Am I gonna see you over in Japan for Star Wars Celebration? Or maybe we're gonna do our tried and true ICCC this year or next year, I should say, which is coming back to May. Remember, so again, kind of scary to say it, but that's exactly 5 months away. Okay, ICCC, guys, let that sink in. It's exactly 5 months away because it's on the 16th of May. So yikes! I wish I had not said that. Now I'm freaking out. That very saying, Chris, what's up? Martha saying, hi, thank you for joining the stream. Aboard the banner saying, still so mind blowing. I got to meet the chosen one. Still can't believe it. Yeah, so Aboard the banner was it's in Ohio, but what is the name of it? I'm sorry, the convention, remind me. Anyway, Hayden Christensen was there, and so he got to meet him. Very, very cool. Our friend Tony from Star Wars Sith was also there, and he got to meet Hayden as well for the
For the
17th
seventh time.
time. Yeah, exactly. So this year, mind you, this year only,
Yeah, that's just
17
this year.
times. Yeah, because
Not to mention the times they play golf and hang out together.
oh, exactly. The times they've had cook-ups like at their place and stuff like that. They still yet to invite me, but it's fine. We got Chris from the Nerd Squadron saying, good evening, gents. What's going on, man? Dude, great job on that review. I was watching it today. That C3PO, um, I almost said helmet, but technically it's not a helmet, right? I mean, it's what would you call it?
Display head,
Yeah,
right?
exactly, right? Because it's not even a bust, right? Because it doesn't go below like the neck.
Right
So
here.
yeah, so we'll call it C3PO head, I guess. electronic
That
head.
sounds dirty.
Yeah, I was gonna say if that makes it any worse. Um, but yeah, great review, dude. Great
Did you see
detail.
his like the video, the way like he
Oh,
did
dude,
all the cinema
I
like
know.
mwah.
So that exactly those first few seconds of the video, I was like, damn it, Chris, like, why you gotta make everyone else look like crap? Um, Countdown City Geek saying nerd affiliated. I mean, hating and Rosario might never be top. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, that one was kind of crazy. I feel that the only way that would have been topped is if they dropped Ewan McGregor into that one. And at that point I'm like, dude, you got the new Holy Trinity, right? Like that was the only way that I'm like, that's just about the only thing that I see could top, what was already there. They didn't. Again, Ewan had other stuff to do and stuff, so he I don't think
Hayden
he would.
Rose and Ewan and Qui-Gon, drawing a
Oh,
blank on his name.
yeah.
Which one would you think would be like more hype?
Just because of the rarity.
Yeah,
Yeah, with Qui-Gon for sure, because he doesn't do this stuff.
totally drawing a
Like,
blank on his name. But over the many years, I've learned it's
but,
quite skill to forget stuff.
yeah, exactly. Which is funny because we don't blank out on Qui-Gon, right? But we
Yeah.
blank out on
Again, we know who they are, not
exactly.
their government names. Like you
Yep.
are Qui-Gon.
Yeah. But yeah, again, just Liam Neeson, by the way.
Liam Neeson
But
there.
just just because of the rarity of it, yeah, Liam would kill at any of these things, just by himself maybe. But if you pair them, Liam, Ewan, and Hayden, oh, dude, come on, that's just insane. Um, Hayden and Ewan, they enjoy, like they enjoy hanging out. So at a lot of cons, you actually see them together, right? Which is awesome.
Did you meet them for the Space
Not
Con?
this time.
You
I
didn't?
did not
Oh
meet them
man.
this time. Nope. No, I
I
did not.
don't understand what anxiety, that type of those things are, but it's waiting in line. I was sweating
Yeah,
profusely more than just wearing the costume because I did it in my costume.
I know.
My heart was racing. I blacked out for a moment. I'm assuming that's what those issues are. That's my first time experiencing it. Uh, but yeah, I wonder if anybody else in the chat, if y'all have met him, were you about to die when you met him? Because that's how I felt.
Dude, and your picture, by the way, is one of the best ones I've seen. And I'm not just saying that because you're here and stuff and you're my friend. But when you showed me, like, after getting it, because first of all, we won't show it because Mike's family's is in it, but they're all in costume. So first of all, the whole family is in costume, which is already a big win in my book. uh my family didn't even go to SpaceCon, so I'm just saying. um and so all y'all are in costume, looking great, by the way, each one of y'all. And then you kind of just had Hayden and Ewan like blend in. It was almost like it was literally a family picture. Like it didn't even feel like out of place. But front and center is the dad Vader. And you can tell Ewan and Hayden are just having fun with it, dude. Like they're like pointing at you and stuff. And oh man, it was great. Like
Getting them both to laugh,
yeah,
like I don't know if I don't know what else I could have in my life. Like
agreed.
just walking in and they both just look at me and they're just like big old smile on their
Yeah,
face and they're like pointing at me, pointing at my shoes. And um Ewan was like, you won a costume of the day. And uh
perfect.
Hayden sees the cup that says number one dad and he's like,
Yeah.
darn right. And I'm like,
Yes.
dude, this is awesome. Like the best life ever now. Like I don't know what else to do. Like
Oh,
I turned
absolutely.
into Ricky Bobby too. I was like, what do I do with
What I
like
do, what I do, yeah. But yeah, guys, so it's a great picture. I bumped into Mike, right after I think you had just done it.
yep.
Excuse me. And man, I absolutely love that picture. It's one of my favorite pictures that I've seen, with both of them, again, with both Hayden and Ewan. It just worked out so great. It literally does look like almost like a Christmas, postcard type of picture. It's like, hey, the
That
whole
will be
family needs
our
to be there.
Christmas. Yep,
Exactly.
that's
Oh,
our Christmas card forever now.
exactly.
So
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. Because also, let me just tell you guys, it's not that cheap, to get them both on a
oh,
picture.
oh, it is
um,
not.
but you guys killed it. Like I said, it just looks amazing. I love that picture. But to answer your question, no, I did not. And I would say one of the main reasons why I didn't is because I actually did this back in August in Chicago. And
And the
so I got to do the
credit card was
father and
still melted, so
yeah,
you were not
exactly.
able to use that one.
Yeah, because mind you, I did this and this right at the same con. So again, we've talked about it here. Bucket list for me had to do it, but it was definitely not in the budget, for this year. And this, let me tell you guys, this just by itself is almost, the budget for the year, let alone both of these combined.
Mhm.
Again, no regrets, no whatsoever. But I'm just saying, like after this, I was like, all right, I gotta pace myself. I gotta tone it down a little bit because um, we
Eating a
had,
lot of ramen soup now.
oh, dude, seriously, let alone, of course, Japan, right? Which is right around the corner. So this was definitely a highlight for me. Insane experience. Again, so happy that I was able to do it. Um, Again, definitely not in scope for the year, but once I knew they were going to be out, once I knew Mark was going to be out there, I jumped on it. And then they added Hayden, and then they added this thing. Done deal. I was like, I,
Yep.
I don't, I don't care like how much time I'm gonna spend, um, paying for this. It's got to happen. So one of the best, experience. Both of them super nice. Again, you don't really get to talk to them. Um, this one I've talked about it before. I walked in and this is not the best picture maybe, but I do have my childhood, first figure Luke Skywalker right there with me. Um, I told him I loved him, and he's like, "What?" And then they told me like, "You gotta move
They
on."
called security. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then
You
they
have
know
to
they
walk out of
they
the building.
whisked me away. Um, but yeah, I was like, "Yeah, I hate you guys." But so superhero, I did do this one though, which again I'm super proud that I did this one. I should have done an autograph, to be honest with you. I should have done the autograph because he was having a blast, dude. So, again, if you don't know, first of all, this is Diego Luna who plays Cassian Andor. But I'm gonna, peel back here the curtain a little bit. I'm Mexican, okay. I know, shocking. Don't
It's
don't hit
mind
the
blown.
report exactly. Don't hit the report button just yet. So I've seen this guy, in like a bunch of stuff before, right? When well, I was a kid, he was a kid, right? He's a little bit older than I am, but comparable ages. And so I've kind of seen him, make the leap into like movies, and then of course make the leap into like Hollywood, and then now make the leap into Star Wars, right? So um it was very cool to meet him. He was having, like I said, he was having so much fun because this was his first convention. He has done celebration before because he kind of has to, right? Like they take him out for PR and stuff, but actual pictures and autographs he's never done. This was his first one here in San Antonio, mind you. And so I do regret, I admit that here, I do regret not getting his auto because I could have talked to him for at least, like 30 seconds while he's signing stuff for me. um and again, he was very, very cool, so I'm glad. He's gonna be out there in Star Wars Celebration, in Japan. It's just Star Wars Celebration is kind of, it's it's gonna be a little bit harder, because
Definitely.
Celebration has not been to Japan in what, 10 plus, no, 15 years, right, or something like that. It was like 2008, I think.
Big number, yeah.
and and their hype is through the roof, right? And so I know that he's gonna be next to impossible to get. He's obviously going to be more expensive, than here. Um, so yeah, I'm really glad I did this, first of all. But I do regret not just ponying up and getting the auto as well. Which again, more than anything, for like the interaction, right? Like just to talk to him for like 30 seconds, whatever. Pick
Would
his
you have
brain.
gotten the picture, or would you gotten maybe a figure? What would you think you would have gotten autographed?
I, for the most part, I do like to have their figures signed because I like the way it looks on the card.
Mhm.
But um, I it has grown on me when they actually signed the our pictures, together. Um, it makes it good for space because you got the one thing, with the picture and auto all in one, right? Um, and it makes it a little bit more like memorable if you want to think about it that way. But I don't know. For him, I think I would have done this. I think I would have, because I really like this picture, by the way. If you notice, I don't look as dark as the other ones because I don't know what they do to me. Look at that. Look how dark I look on that one. I'm like, bro, I know I'm dark. It's just, but look at the difference. I mean, come on, man. I need all the help I can get. Like, just
It's
crank up
San
the exposure,
Antonio. Like
dude.
we got the goods here, man. We
I
got
was gonna
the
say
top tier professionals.
yeah, they got the what's it called? The lighting, toned to, let's tweak it to Mexican. Let's not leave it to white people like this one.
Ah, yeah, that's what it
I think that's
was.
what it is. Because
Yeah.
yeah, dude, seriously.
Chicago, they're all bundled up
It,
most of the time, get nice
exactly.
and pasty. Yep,
Yep.
that definitely
Yep. Yep.
happened.
So yeah, I like this picture a lot because of that. Um, and it was, again, great experience. He had a fun time. I think he's talked about it afterwards, and he's like, yeah, that was crazy. I was not expecting that. He did a panel which was great. Um, and you could tell he progressively got more into it. So he was so close to dropping knowledge about Ander, but he's like, I can't. You were like, dang it, man. Um, Chris saying all of the above. Chris, what's up? Says that Vader. Aboard the Veteran says, oh, GalaxyCon, thank you. And I wish I could go to
Ah, yes.
ICCC and see you all again. Can't make it this year, unfortunately. Ah, dang it, man. All right, man. We'll catch you on the next one then. Thank you, boys, says the Nerd Squadron. Countdown seeing full disclosure, that panel could have been better, but Disney is strict with what they can and can't be done on stage. Yeah, so what he's talking about is the Hayden and Rosario panel. Uh, there was some restrictions. There was no fan questions. So that made it a little bit tough. Let me tell you. That makes it a little bit tough.
Yep.
Nerdafin
Do
says,
you,
Jose, yeah.
I was gonna say, so going into that, I'm assuming the heads up will give us a little behind the scenes,
Mhm.
perhaps. Do agents kind of tell you that, or is that from the con telling you like, here's these rules that we were given, or is it like their agents kind of like wrangling that for y'all?
So for this one in particular, it's usually the con that lets us know because they're the ones that have the contracts,
Yep.
um, and so sometimes it just kind of depends the way the con is run. But sometimes the agents that are with the actors are from the company that was hired to bring them in.
Hmm.
So they're not. I don't know how to say it, they're not the actor's
Actual,
agent.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly, they're the agency's like agent, right? Like the whatever they're called. So for example, like Ace, like that company
Yep.
that brings some of the
The
bigger names.
talent agencies that
Exactly.
facilitate, yeah.
Right. Not their actual representation for the actor, right? Um, some do, like for example, Billy D. Williams over at ICCC. He always goes with his actual agent.
Actual agent, yeah.
Yeah, and his actual agent is there, and his actual agent is the only one that does panels with him, which I didn't know. Um, so he did his panel right at ICCC. So it just kind of depends, but for the most part, it's and especially with bigger names that are working for bigger companies like Disney, it's all written down, like even before the show. So most of the time, yes, they'll let us know. It's like, hey guys, you know what? Um, no fan questions this time around. You can't talk about this or that. Um, some of them, are obvious, right? You know, you can't really bring up. It's like, oh, could you tell me, what Ahsoka season 2 is going to be about and stuff like that. Um, you you can kind of finesse some of it sometimes and be like, oh, could you just tell us kind of like what's the overall feeling, right? Like, as you guys are filming season
Kind of
2 and blah blah. Like exactly,
poke
just kind of
around.
dance
Yeah.
around. Exactly, right? And they'll say something like, "Oh, it's higher energy because we got a lot more action, and stuff like that." Like, so you get a little bit of it, but it is tough. Uh, so, for example, the Nostalgicon this past in Houston this past show, they told us no fan questions, which we were kind of relying on. Um, so like a day or two before, they're like, you know what, we're not gonna have any fan questions, and we're like, oof, okay.
Yeah.
Luckily, they were shorter panels. They were technically 25-minute panels. Um, so not too bad. But when you got like an hour, worth of a panel, you're like, dude, that's
Yeah.
a lot of questions that I gotta come up with.
Do you like cheese?
Exactly. And if so, melted or not, like that,
Yeah.
like you just sometimes you just kind of have to
Yeah.
throw in some stuff in there, right? That
Two-part question.
yeah, exactly. And then um and you hope that your guest is talkative, right? Because
Oh
there's
yeah.
some that are real like, no, I don't like cheese.
Yep. Cheese.
Done, right? Yeah. And then you're like, okay, well, there goes my question. Next one, right? And you're just burning through them, dude, like nothing, right? So you start looking down at the clock, and you're like, dang it, we're halfway there, and I already finished up all my questions, right? Uh, so and of course, it's up to you to sort of navigate that, but yeah, we do get sort of a breakdown of the rules, right, for each panel. Like I said, since this one was a little bit different, a little bit more special, right? Um, they're like, yeah, we can't do fan questions. Now the hard part was that when it was going on, fans just started yelling out things, right? Because I mean, the mentality is, hey, I paid for extra, uh, I paid extra to be at this thing. I want my question, answered. And so people just started like sort of, shutting out. And not unfortunately, I get it. You can't just ignore them 100%, but they'll be in the middle of answering a question, and then they're like, oh, what was that? Oh yeah, no. And then it's like, I'm sorry, what was the question? And like trying to like reel it back in. So it was tough. Like Ted did a great job, don't get me wrong. But there was a layer of difficulty because there was no fan questions. Archer saying, Jose, you get one this year. Who is it? Ewan, Hayden and Rosario, one panel, or Mark, one panel, and hang out backstage. Oh, if I could choose, come on now. I don't
I
know,
think
man.
that's an easy one. That's an easy one.
Okay, so I'm sorry, but right off the bat, I think Hayden and Rosario are out. Right? I don't think it's a contest. Sorry. Now, Ewan is my jam, right? I mean, it's the name of the channel. It's my favorite character, right? But but I mean, Mark, right? Mark Hamill is one of the last few great ones left, right?
Let's add a layer here to make it harder on you. Mark, same thing, right? A panel with him, hang out backstage after, but you can't talk Star Wars.
mm, bro, I love his Joker, so I'm
Okay.
good.
All right. I was about to say
I'm
they're still
good.
Joker.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I could, I could talk his ear off probably just with that. Not to mention the other, stuff. Dude, I will go into the Flash if I have to, with him. Like, I'll talk about the what is it called? Trickster. I was forgetting his name. Dude, I'll go into that. Like, I'll pull whatever knowledge I can out of him. Um, but yeah, so um, if let's put it this way, if Mark was also of the prequel era and of the same like age group as Ewan, 100%, right?
Yeah.
Like he would be again almost no contest, right? But Mark, being Mark and being the icon that he is in the franchise and just in general, um, I don't think I could pass that up because in my mind I'm like, technically, again, nothing's guaranteed, right? In my mind, I'm like, I still got a little bit of time with Ewan, right? I maybe in the next 10 years, and it's still feasible, right? It could still happen. I don't know that I can say the same thing, with Mark, right? I don't
Yep.
know that I can say 5 more years. I don't know. We just, but it's
You,
more of a question with
you
him, right?
Mark, it's a home run. You knock it out.
Exactly.
The word gets to Hollywood that this is the guy that you need to hang out with, and then now you're doing everybody. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right. Exactly. Now, I'm gonna. I'm not a big like proponent of like throwing it out there and that kind of stuff, but I will say this: I will have a panel with Ewan McGregor. I don't know when, I don't know where, but it's gonna happen.
It's
Okay,
out there in the universe now.
exactly. Mark my words. All right, everybody here is witness. I will have a panel with Ewan McGregor at some point. All right, I'm not gonna say next 6 months, next year. I don't know, but it will happen. All right, it will happen. I will be up there. I will freeze and botch it up, but it will happen. All right. So again, just throwing it out there. Um, that's the dream. All right. And yes, of course, Mark is whatever is beyond the dream, right? Because that guy doesn't even do with moderators. So in August in Chicago, it was just him talking, which again, I don't know what the contractual, obligations are if he chose not to have a host, but I did feel it was a little bit of a missed opportunity because he was obviously all over the place, right? He was he was talking about many other projects, which is cool because he updated us on stuff that he's doing currently. But at the same time, we're like, all right, man, we kind of want to get into the Star Wars of things, And I would say that was definitely the minority of the time.
Yeah.
So you know, it's one of
And
those
didn't you
things.
say kind of in the beginning, like there was like a weird, like maybe he thought there was supposed to be someone on stage with him, and he just like, oh well, then he just took off with it.
That's the thing. So Giancarlo Esposito comes out to
Hmm.
introduce him. And in my mind, I'm like, dude, are they having this dude moderate his panel? I was like,
That'd be
this is worth,
wild.
yeah, I was like, this is worth all the money. Like to have, Moff Gideon interview Luke Skywalker. I was like, dude, this is wild. But no, he just introduced him, said hi, and bounced. I was like, dang it. I was like, all right, well, I wonder who it's going to be. Some dude just comes out with a single chair, puts it in the middle, walks out. And Mark's like, all right. It's like, I guess this is my spot, and see, he's like, sits down. He's like, uh, what do you want to talk about? Literally like that. And he's like, okay, well, let me update you, and like sort of, he started going off like, oh, I was filming up in Canada and stuff like that. But then
Didn't he
he's like,
also do like a time check? Also, like
a couple times, I was just
so
gonna say, so what?
definitely feels like there was should have
Yeah,
been someone there.
yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. It's a little bit of structure. I think would have been very helpful in this particular instance. Don't get me wrong, Mark is amazing. He can talk, with the best of them for sure. Um, but there were a couple of times when he was trying to do a time check, right? He's like, how much longer I gotta go? And to me personally, I don't know about everybody else, but to me personally, that kind of took me out a little bit, of the. We were just hearing this cool story of him in like the Joker role, right? And all of a sudden, he brought it up to, oh yeah, we only got 15 minutes left, right? And I'm like, I understand, but at the same time, I'm sure there's an army of people that can signal him, or can raise a clock or something, right? Then I'm like, he shouldn't have to, you
Yeah,
know,
don't
kind
take
of.
us out of the magic for
Exactly.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But again, that's my personal opinion. Uh, I'm just saying, when you have an icon like Mark Hamill, I would want everything to run like perfect. Okay, where was I? Jeez, I'm falling behind. All right. I'm gonna go here. Liam, unfortunately, won't appear in person. Have you seen the Conan interview with him? Not the latest one, I don't think. What's up, fella? Says Brad. What's going on, man? Thank you so much for joining. And so Brett actually rolled back some of his changes. He's back to Cool 2.0 here on YouTube. So make sure that you are subscribed. Wait, you're Mexican since when? uh, 1810, brother. Countdown City Geek says Diego dropped so much info during his panel. Yes, nothing specific, but he just wanted to talk, dude. Yep, no, Ladyboy. Exactly. Luis in the chat saying, hi, General Kenobi. Thanks so much for joining. Hey, look who it is. Sid happens in the house. What's up, fellas? What is going on, man? Okay, full disclosure, and Mike, knows this. I tried mailing your giveaway prize today, but it's a weird shape. I couldn't find the box, and the biggest one at the post office didn't quite fit, and it was kind of expensive too. So I'm working on it. I will get it out very soon. Just the chaos with the holidays, dude. The post office was nuts. I couldn't even get into the parking lot. There was literally a line of cars,
Hmm.
on the outside, like on the street. And I was like, "Whoa, is it free mail your stuff day? Like, what's going on?" And nope, it was just a bunch of people, man, dropping stuff off.
I think
Um,
they said Wednesday is the cutoff to get your items before
by
Christmas.
Yeah, which makes
So a
sense.
lot of people procrastinate, which rightfully so. So shortly after I
Yeah,
dropped off the stuff with you, I ran to the post office myself to mail off, or picked up my son, and then we ran to the post office to go
yeah,
mail off a gift for my
nice.
nieces, and we were at the self service kiosk, and there was a line there,
Dang.
and that one is always for some reason like 45 plus, where they do this
Mm,
to type everything out.
I hear you.
So it took us quite a bit to get through there, but still faster than the actual going and waiting in line part. But yeah,
Yeah,
parking was nuts, and then took us like 40 minutes to get out of there.
yeah, dude. Yeah. I was not expecting that because I try to go early because of that, right? Um, Definitely not expecting that one. But Sid happens. I am working on it. I will get it out sometime, soonish. Can't promise you will get it before Christmas, but I'm gonna try. Rolando dropping Cool 2.0's YouTube channel there. Appreciate you along with Sid Happens. Also, make sure you check him out on YouTube. We got Jackie Deer saying Bleed Star Wars. Hey, what's going on, Jackie? Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Rolando says Brett. Rolando also dropping the Nerd Squadron's YouTube channel. Go check out his awesome C3PO helmet. Dang it,
Oh
head.
yeah,
It's not a helmet. You
Ed,
don't wear it.
yeah.
It's a head. His review is super dope. Thanks, Rolando says it happens. Nerd affiliated link being dropped by Rolando along with Jackie the Deer YouTube channel as well. Archer says, pulling I'm not pulling for a panel with Ewan. I'm pulling for you and Ewan to share a conversation no one sees. Both missed a flight at the airport lounge on a Christmas Eve. Dude, I
Oh,
are in your movie for sure. Brad saying Jose shouldn't lean in for the kiss too soon though. Just keep calling him General. If he calls me General, I'm good. LOL says Brad. Says Jedi Cantina was closed down for not registering with the Supreme Chancellor's office. Ah, dang it, man. Um, Kansas City Geek says, I'm picturing Jose walk up to the stage during the next panel for Mark and saying, I got this. Dude, if security wasn't as tight as it was, yeah, oh man, for sure. um and so yeah, man, like I said, it was quite the experience, right? Rebels Come was super fun. I got to interview Jar Jar, which is still kind of nuts. Like my 10-year-old self is like, whoa, what just happened, right? um Looking forward to the next show, of course. um as you mentioned, there's definitely some good stuff happening in the background for the next show. Rebels Comic-Con, remember, it's going to be in August out here in Frisco, Texas. um middle of August,
August 8th and through the
8th
10th.
to the 10th. Yeah, very much so. So yeah, again, we're definitely going to be out there. We're looking forward to it, and seeing all of you guys, and hanging out. um but yeah, guys, we've kind of projected, like I said, we're gonna be at different shows, especially the ones here in town, of course. We're gonna be doing Superhero Comic Con. We're gonna be doing Space Con. The word is they are gonna make another one next year. We're gonna be hitting up, some of the other uh, big local shows that are more related to like anime. Like Howcon coming up in January. um it At least for now, it looks like I'll be going back to NostalgiaCon in Houston, which is also in August, by the way. So if you guys are in the Houston area, I'll probably be seeing you out there. um so those are just some of the bigger ones, right? We got Corpus Christi Con, possibly if it happens. Speaking of out of town, like I said, if anybody's going to Japan, hit me up. I'm gonna be out there in celebration for all 3 days. Stop by, say hi. Get some stickers, get some. I need to make patches. That's what I need to order, by the way. Um, but the point is that we'll be out there. Like I said, we want to grow obviously the channel and the community, right? We want to try to meet as many as you as we can at this event. So if you see us walking around, stop by, say hi. Mike will
Definitely.
more than likely be at some like awesome costume, so he might not even be able to hear you or see you very well. So make sure you try very hard to get his attention. Don't trip him though, that's not the right kind of attention. um, he has obviously some of the most popular cosplays out there, in this show. So don't be surprised if he's swarmed by a group of fans
It does
around him.
happen.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, man, we've done quite a bit this year, and again, I just want to say thank you to the community, because it's been insane. It's been great. It's been super fun. Um, do you want to do like a 5 minute prediction for tomorrow
I was about
for
to say
for
let's
Skeleton Crew?
let's maybe not do 5, but let's
Yeah,
just
let's do like
maybe
three or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
let's
Yeah, I don't know. I was scratching my head because I feel like we can do maybe a flashback because
yeah.
they're real keen on doing those flashbacks. But will it be the whole episode? I don't know.
That's the thing. I agree. So I feel we're a little bit of a joint where some explanation is due, right? Um, will we get the whole Crimson Jack, flashback?
That's kind of what I'm
Uh,
thinking. Like, are we gonna
yeah,
get a little story of that, or are they gonna do like this is why it's the old Republic credit
that too, right?
avenue? Like, is it
So
gonna be combined? Maybe both answered at the same
yeah,
time?
very well, right? Could be. Because we went deeper into ad and stuff, right? This last
Yep.
episode. So do we steer clear of that for the next episode and dive more, like I said, into Jot's character, right? The Crimson Jack. Or do we double down, like you said, and we get a flashback, right? Maybe whatever attacked those other planets, which we don't know,
Yep.
or whoever, right? I mean, at this point, again, we're not really sure. Do we get a preview of the, what do they call it, the supervisor, right?
Oh,
If
yep.
there's
Yep.
if there's even one, right? It'd be interesting. It'd be pretty interesting to see who that supervisor figure is.
Or
Um,
not even close to it, Neil turns to the dark side.
that's what I was gonna say. Neil, after feeling the rush of piloting and evading X-wing, he's like, I want this all the time, so
Yep.
I'm gonna go for bigger, badder things. And he's like, all right. He's like, I've studied whatever little things you know about the Force, Jod. I'm not more powerful than you, so maybe that's his rite of passage. So yeah, and he takes what's his name, SM33 as his apprentice, because that dude is
Um,
ready to throw hands, man. I don't know,
oh yeah.
like he's ready to go. I like it. I've been really really enjoying SM33, to be honest with
Yep.
you. Um,
Everybody's on the Neil Nation, but the SM33, I just call him
oh
Smee. Like that is my jam right there.
yeah, don't get me wrong. Neil is a thing for sure. Like Neil is a vibe now. Um, but yeah, exactly. Very cool. And wild that you still found it out in the open.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely, I think, by far the most popular one. Um, but yeah, I mean, SM33 has his own charm. Like on his own right. That
I
yeah, that scene, and he just like walks away. He's like, "All right, we're done," and then he's like,
I
"I." Just comes up. Oh my god, did that have me literally like cracking out loud?
Yep.
It was so random yet so funny. So okay, I think we agree that there will be a flashback, next episode, so tomorrow. About what? Still to be seen,
Mm.
right? As I
It's gonna be
mentioned
the
before,
worst flashback. It's like the dad like learning in school.
I
Like
know, right?
and
It's
then
like, oh, when I was a kid, dang
yeah,
it.
that's a horrible.
Exactly. Wasted a flashback.
Mhm.
Um, as I mentioned before, though, my prediction for the overall is that we're gonna see an Order 66 flashback. I I can kind of see it make sense now that we've cemented the fact that Jod is using the Force, right? Um, but even himself, right? He said, I never said Jedi." It's like I. So he kind of distanced himself at the same time. So I don't know.
That would
Maybe,
be years in the making of
yeah,
basically hiding. I'm not a Jedi. I'm not a like that's engraved in you. Like
exactly.
you distance yourself as far away as possible. You may be force sensitive, or maybe you were a Padawan, and you're like, nope. I saw what happened to that one guy.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. I'm not
I'm
going
no
that route.
Jedi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But at the same time, he's not shy about showing the kids, the Force, right? Like or his powers, I guess. Um, so it's kind of like, okay, is it because they're children, right? And you're like, oh, I have to impress them and get myself a ticket on their ship, or is it because there's a bigger plan going on here? So interesting. There's a few questions in there. Definitely want to know more. I'll be honest with you, I want to know more about those other 8 planets more than at
Yes.
the time. I'm more curious to see what those are or were, and again, what or who got them destroyed.
Kind of
That's
like what
kind of my.
Chris said.
Yeah,
Like there could be a different tie-in to some
exactly.
other parts of the universe that we've
Yep,
not seen on the screen. We've seen on a
exactly.
screen, but not this type of screen.
Exactly, very much so. So, Chris from the Nerd Squadron was our guest here in the High Ground a couple episodes back, and he had an interesting theory exactly regarding a possible connection, to those destroyed hidden planets, to one that is featured on the video game Jedi Survivor. So, it's not that far fetched, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, it actually kind of makes perfect sense. Um, so we'll see. We'll probably will get a flashback, next episode. Um, I'm kind of hoping for a little bit more of the supervisor, insight. And then what I'm wondering is where are they going now? So they have coordinates, but I don't know that they're gonna be back at Atten, that easily.
Yeah, I don't.
Um,
It also didn't seem like that thing was completed. Like,
exactly.
there could have been rushed, so they may be in the ballpark. So maybe we do get to see some of those other planets because it kind of made it look like they were all in one little
Close.
area, right?
Exactly. So that's what I was gonna say. Maybe they got like the sector, down. Um, and that's what I was thinking. Is like maybe we're gonna do a tour, maybe not all 8 planets, but a few of them, right? So we're gonna get there and be like, oh dang, like this is not it, this is not it. But look at what happened here. Look at the remains, which would be kind of cool again to learn more about those planets because right now that's my main like mystery, in the show. Um, so yeah, guys, there you have it. That's gonna be our quick prediction for tomorrow's episode of Skeleton Crew. We're gonna get a flashback. We more than likely will get a little bit more information on those other planets outside of Atten. And like I said, my personal prediction is Order 66, but I'm not sure that it will happen this episode. We might have to wait a little bit more, maybe like around episode 5 um, to 6, to probably see that. Any cameos you think? I'm I'm kind of leaning towards no, not yet.
Yeah, if they do it, I think it's going to be a little bit later to
Yeah,
kind of tease and maybe another direction because they haven't said if this is just a short series or if there could possibly lead into other stuff.
right, right. They
So
said they have ideas for season 2
yeah,
already, right? But my understanding is I don't think there's an official green light for
yeah,
season 2. So
I'm the way it's projecting. Definitely would love to see a second season, but I think this is where if you were kind of betting this while you were filming this, like 5, 6 would be the
yeah,
time where you would drop in little cameos, little Easter eggs to maybe allude to something further down the road.
right.
So we'll see how that goes. But I mean, if I'm not a smart person, right? I'm just guessing.
Oh, I don't know about
If
that,
I
bro.
was directing, that's what I would do. I'd just put the little breadcrumbs towards the end to kind of like, hey, guess what we got coming up, right? And then see what happens.
Very much so. Very much so. Okay, but all right, guys. So we've gone on quite a bit here. I just want to wrap up by saying, first of all, thank you for all y'all support this year. Again, the growth of the channel has been insane. Thank you to each and every single one of you that has watched the video, left a comment, left us a like, showed up here, for our live streams. I just want to remind you very quickly to check out Mike over at the Dad Vader on Instagram. We do have General Economics Bunker Instagram as well as shown here, and we are on Facebook, General Economics Bunker, all one word. TikTok at General underscore Kenobi's underscore bunker. While there is a TikTok, I'm not entirely sure what's going on, to be honest with you. I need to read more about it. We're also on threads now at general.kenobis.bunker. So again, we would greatly, greatly appreciate it if you check us out over on social media. Please don't forget to leave us your like here on the stream. Thank you again, guys, for an insane, insane 2024. We are super excited, of course, of what's to come next year of 2025. 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. Something's got to happen. I mean,
Oh yeah.
that's people's favorite movie for some people, like favorite overall, like just throughout
Yep.
the saga. Favorite prequel, I would think is pretty safe to say. So I'm really hoping they give it its due, and at least bring it back into theaters. Like I feel that
Oh yeah.
that's like the minimum, the bare minimum that they have to do. Again, guys, we are going to be at different conventions throughout the year. Of course, we'll be posting on our social media how that is going and when we're going to go. But once again, if you see us out there, if you're coming into town, to San Antonio, also let us know. We're usually here. We're usually hitting up some of the smaller cons as well. Weekend shows and little mall conventions and stuff like that. We try to go out there and support as much as we can. So let us know. If you're in town, there's bound to be something going on, so we can always, hang out. And like I said, check out a few stores, few collectibles, few events. What else? Happy holidays in case
Yep.
if for
Definitely.
whatever reason we don't stream again. Happy holidays to you and all of yours, and be safe. Have fun, get some rest, get some family time, get some friends time, all of that good stuff. So stay safe out there. Spend a lot of money, just like Mike did.
Oh yeah.
Over the last week. Who am I to say? I'd probably spend more. Um, yeah, I was telling you, I picked up I picked up a hot toy, guys. Another
Yep.
one, from our good friend from Spice Runners Lounge, Joel Hossie. He was having a sale, and I could not pass it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So my 8 doesn't compare to that. It's still under.
true. Yeah, very true, very true. Um, which I wish I could say that's the only thing I picked up. It's not.
Hmm.
Um, Also, guys, check out Walmart. They've been having some crazy sales. Obviously, the Ghost is the one that everybody's talking about, but they've also had the 2-pack Black Series for Enoch and Captain Enoch and the Stormtrooper, and the 2-pack Black Series of the Shriek Hawk Mandalorians. One of them, the female Shriek Hawk, is portrayed by our friend Lisa Gave, whom we interviewed here on the channel. So make sure you check out that interview. That was her first like interview,
Yep.
well, for how can I say it? Well, for Star Wars, but for sort of like geek related, right? Like stuff.
Yep.
And she was great. She was super fun, and we thank her, for hanging out here with us. Hopefully, we get to see her at a show, and hopefully, I can get my figure now signed since
Yeah. Definitely.
it wasn't available last time we met her. So yeah, guys, thank you again for all of this crazy, crazy journey that we're on. We appreciate, all the time, all the friendships, all the hellos. Like I said, we're looking forward to meeting some of y'all next year, in person, hanging out with some of y'all we've already met, and just see you, keep having fun, and let's see where this trip takes us.
Definitely.
So oh, sorry, last Mandalore Express in the house saying, "Hey there, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you coming in." So yeah, with that, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap up. Again, have a great rest of your week. Get your holiday shopping done, guys. Get your USPS drop off done too, because it's
Oh
coming
yeah.
up. You got like 2 more days, and then it's cut off time. Santa ain't gonna put those elves into overtime no more, man. Like they're not. It's not in the budget. They're not gonna get three
It's been
times
a
the
rough year
salary.
for all of us. So
Yeah,
the budget
exactly.
is
So
low.
he's
No
yeah, he's
overtime.
got to really, really stick to the budget this year. So yeah, guys, get your holiday shopping and packaging drop off done. With that, we bid you good night, everybody. Thank you, Bunker Bunch. As always, we really, really appreciate you. Happy holidays, and may the force be with you.